Hi, and welcome to Bideo Game. This is a podcast where we go back through the terrible and even worse world of video game adaptations into movie and television. I'm your co-host, Brayden.
I'm Sexy Ganondorf.
Okay, so that's Libby. She is apparently Sexy Ganondorf.
Today,
I did want to propose something to you. I think just to get like the hype built, we should brand this as a reboot.
What?
Like nothing. Like we acknowledge that it's that we haven't done this. That we haven't done this before. There's no version, but just like Hollywood's blowing up with these reboots.
Right. We should be really mean to each other and like make like tea YouTube videos about one another too, because like I eat that shit up. So I know other people.
It's like one like cryptic sentence as the title with a period at the end.
Oh my god,
so that
we
people
can
know it's dramatic.
one another.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna subtweet you so fucking hard. I'm gonna be like, I can't think of one right now, but you'll know.
I'm not sure.
You'll know it's about you.
I'm not sure I've ever subtweeted. So, like, I've talked shit on Twitter, but, like, I don't think it's ever been, like, some people, I guess. Like, I mean, I did get suspended that one time for telling a guy to fill his pockets with rocks and walk into the ocean.
Oh my god, let me read you this hate tweet I got earlier, because it's so fucking good. Did you see it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's my first one. I'm, like, so genuinely fucking excited. Bitch, you look like you make stovetop stuffing all day. Get the fuck off Twitter. Vomit emoji. Clown emoji.
What? Stovetop is that...
all day.
Like a reference to, like, eating it a lot? Or just, like, that your cooking is boxed and not, like, high quality? I don't understand what the dig is.
I can't cook to save my fucking life. So he's... I don't like stuffing, though.
Oh, I can fucking dig on some stuffing.
I don't like it. I tweeted at him, literally get fucked. And he said, bitch, you look like you make stovetop stuffing all day. I don't even know how to respond to that. I'm just letting it hang.
Yeah,
like,
I mean...
okay, I do look like I make stovetop stuffing.
I gotta say, I think he won. I think you have to acknowledge that he won that one.
Yeah, he got me. Oh god damn, I've been owned. I've been had.
All right, so
Zelda.
Yeah, so the first thing that we're going to be going into, and the show that inspired this, is the Legend of Zelda animated series. It's pretty infamous for being absolutely terrible.
The worst fucking thing, yeah.
Yeah, real garbage, real shit.
Hot shit, yeah.
So how we're breaking this down is we're going to start off with a little bit of background on the show, how it got made, kind of just some info about it, and then after that, we'll go through the plot of the first episode, break it down, and kind of talk over it. So yeah, let's get started on that background.
So the Legend of Zelda cartoon had a very long storied run from September 8th of 1989 to December 1st of 1989.
Wow.
There were
they wrapped all the way back around to 1989 again.
Yeah.
That's how long it went.
It went from 1989 BC to 1989. Oh, you're not supposed to do BC and AD anymore, right? It's BCE and CE.
Right, but it's still framing it on, like, the same year, so who are we kidding?
The Legend of Zelda cartoon came out before Jesus died. And significantly before he was born, in fact.
Well, that was, like, the thing that God saw, and he was like, I gotta get my boy down there. He's got some shit to sort out.
No, that's the thing God saw and made him flood the fucking earth. He was like, I can't be having this shit down there.
It was like, Noah, you're the only person who hasn't watched it. You're cool. Get your family on the boat.
Noah was like that kid who, or not kid, that parent who like only lets their kid listen to K-Love. Were you ever in the car with someone like that whose mom only let them listen to K-Love?
What is K-Love?
K-Love! You know what K-Love is, Brayden.
No, I absolutely don't.
It's the Christian pop station.
Oh, we did not, we were not listeners of Christian pop or anything like that.
Neither was I. But, like, you never had the experience of, like, bumming a ride from someone and then their mom was, like, just bumping some, I don't know, Reliant K or something?
Okay, so I know some of the...
What's that one that Travis McElroy had a crush on? Amy Grant.
Amy Grant?
Yeah.
I have no clue who that is.
We had different experiences growing up.
So, like, I know Reliant K and, like, Switchfoot, like, that brand of...
Skrillex. Not Skrillex. Skillet.
Oh, my God. Skillet, yes.
Skillet.
Like, yeah, I'm familiar-ish, but, like, no, it was never... Is that the radio station?
Yeah, it's the radio station.
Okay, yeah, no, I was unaware.
Well, it was funny.
You were just bumping, "Our God is an awesome God." Right?
Oh.
Right?
That
That
shit
one?
owns. There's one that Sarah's church used to play that I hate, and it was like, "I will climb this mountain with my arms wide open." It's like, that's not how you climb mountains.
You're gonna fall.
I think that's like the thing, though. It's like, I'm gonna fall.
So it's like Jesus take the wheel, but it's Jesus like free climb this mountain for me.
There was a girl in my talent show in the 6th grade who sang Jesus Take the Wheel.
Oh my God.
But she didn't have like very good enunciation. And it sounded like she was saying Jesus take, oh, well, you didn't hear the L at all. So it's just Jesus take the we.
Jesus, my kid will not stop playing Wii Sports Resort. You gotta take this shit from him. I'm begging you, man.
People would sing Jesus take the weed at her.
That's a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one. But she, like, obviously did not care for that shit at all.
Now, I that could be taken in two contexts. Either, like, Jesus, get this weed away from me. But I like to think of it of, like, hit this, Jesus. Come on. Hit this.
I hope you have fun in hell, Brayden. I hope you do.
Hey,
I hope it's all worth it.
It is natural. It is a plant.
You're right.
And plants can't be bad for you. Science.
You're right. Science. Facts. Okay, anyways. Legend of Zelda.
We got so far the first time. Let's take it again.
Legend of Zelda ran from September of 89 to December of 89. It had 13 episodes. The episodes aired during the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which that's its own fucking ordeal.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess I didn't realize it was, like, attached to that show.
It was like it was like a commercial bumper, almost. Like, do you remember Who's That Pokemon? It's Pikachu.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Right. Come on, Pokemon. So it was like that. And then that's why you see, like, commercial breaks, like, in the YouTube rips of the cartoon that we watch.
Right.
The reception, critically, is pretty fucking negative. Some people call it, like, one of the worst video game adaptations of all time. I don't think they're wrong.
Yeah, which is saying something, because, like, part of the reason why the show could work is that there are so many bad adaptations. So, like, It's impressive to get up there on that list.
I mean, some people, like, some critics do like it. They say that they like the the characterization. Those people are fucking idiots. And I'm like, I don't remember who the wiki said, but, like, if you're listening, I will fucking fight you. I'm talking hand-to-hand combat because I have never been so upset by something in my fucking life. IGN gave it a 3 out of 5.
Out of 5?
Out of 5. Out of 5. Yeah, I know. That's fucking...
What? Okay, 3 out of 5 is like, yeah, I thought that was all right. Like,
okay, then fucking IGN, what's up? I'll fight you too. IMDb, because all their shit is like user generated.
Yeah.
It has a 5.8 out of 10. It was not on Rotten Tomatoes.
I still feel like that's too high. I feel like
maybe it gets better.
I mean, maybe
you're not convinced,
but I'm not optimistic about it.
I mean, yeah, neither am I. But do you want to? Maybe it does. I don't know. Do you want to just get in on this shit show, or like, do you want to get started?
Yeah, we might as well move on to this. So, right now we're going to move on to breaking down this first episode. It is called The Ringer. It is the first of 13. So, first of all, it opens with, instead of having, like, a traditional animated show, like, theme thing, it's just a bunch of clips. It's like some
background.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of, like, clips from it with, like, Zelda kind of talking about some stuff while the Zelda theme plays lightly in the background. One thing they talk about, and I did look forward at some of the stuff to make sure that this was an actual thing, but they only ever address 2 pieces of the Triforce.
I literally wrote that down. I wrote no third Triforce because it was power and wisdom, right? But, like, is the Triforce the courage? Did it just fucking, like, did it get laid off? Like, where is it?
Which, like, okay, so I think
it's called the Triforce.
Yeah, like, it's iconic enough that, like, most people should know, but, like, even if you didn't, Triforce.
3. Tricycle.
So the only Triforces that are in this, and they're also not talked about like pieces of the same thing, they're just 2 different Triforces. No,
I thought they were their own triangles, though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like in the games, they're all sort of like a piece, but they like go together.
Own triangle.
They are, but they don't like.
But they become one big triangle.
Right. Yeah, they're not really talked about in the show as like.
I've only beaten one Zelda game. that's becoming increasingly obvious.
So Ganon has the Triforce of Power. Zelda has the Triforce of Wisdom. It almost
I think that's normal, right? Because that is how it is in Skyward Sword, the one Zelda game I've ever beaten.
Right. Link normally has courage.
Right.
That's like his part.
Right, because he's not very powerful, and he's a fucking dumbass. So, I mean, what does that leave him?
Right. So, what winds up happening because of that is, like, I have to assume that because it's episodic and serialized and stuff like that, they're going to kind of follow the same pattern, which leads me to believe that this show is just a bunch of, like, capture the flag games. Like, they each have their
big Overwatch map.
Yeah, they each have their own Triforce. They got to get in there, grab it, and get out before they get killed. Like, or beamed away, whatever the kill would be in this situation. Another thing to address, in case anyone's like not familiar with the show at all, Link, typically a silent protagonist. He does speak in this one.
You can have like some dialogue options.
Right, but like there's no voice acted.
Doesn't have much to say.
Yeah, there's no voice acted lines. I
wish to God he was a silent protagonist.
They made him speak in this one, and he only says the worst of words. If you were to list out words, he would say the worst ones at the bottom. He's a nightmare person.
He's a terrible, terrible son of a bitch. Like
he's a despicable rascal.
It's like he's sexually harassing Zelda. He really is. He whistles at her.
Yeah, these are the 2 running jokes in the show. This is
workplace harassment.
The 2 running jokes in the show. One is
the catchphrase.
That he's the catchphrase. One is that he's constantly trying to get a kiss from Zelda. And the other is when Zelda has a normal complaint, he says, "Well, excuse me, princess." And it's endearing, and everyone claps, and the whole audience loves it.
It's true, I was there.
Yeah. Okay, So moving on into the actual show.
I will say one thing though, the music fucks. The music is pretty good.
So like I said, the opening crawl has the just Zelda theme. It's very good. And then there's like, as they have the opening shot, they pan up to like Link's tower, and there's a nice little like flute version.
Yeah,
like it's nice. It's good. I mean, Zelda.
It's good. But it's Zelda music. Like they didn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of an intrinsic like you have to get the Zelda music right, or else it's not Zelda.
Yeah, the music is like a very even because like back then in 1989, like the first Zelda game would have just come out, right? Or maybe Link's Adventure would have just come out.
Yeah, I believe 2 was also out.
Okay. But so, like, admittedly, they did not have much to go off of besides, like, bleep loops.
Yeah.
But, like, even those bleep loops were, like, a big fucking part of it.
Yeah. That is another thing. There's some stuff that's in this that I think is only weird because of how little, like, how much context we have now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, things happen that you're like, that's not how Zelda do.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
But they had one game to base off of, and they extrapolated from that. So, or maybe 2. So I'm like,
no, are we defending this?
I'm willing to give them a little forgiveness, but not the amount of forgiveness they would need to make this wholly acceptable. Okay. So we pan up a tower. Link is waking up in a castle room. He starts to complain. Oh, he does have a painting of Zelda like in his room, which I appreciate.
That's jack-off material is what that is.
Don't say that. Why?
That's what he has it in there for. He wakes up, he has no pants on.
Yeah, he's wearing, for the first, like...
5 minutes.
First, like, 5 minutes, he's wearing a shirt that is, like, kind of long, but not like a night dress, like, night shirt thing that they might have worn. Like, it's fully, like, no pants. If this were anatomically correct, you would probably see a little bit of dick. Like, just...
Okay.
Just a smidge.
I did write down, it's a miracle that Link's dick has not flopped out yet. Because it's true. And I'm not trying to hate. Like, that's how I sleep. I'm big t-shirt all the way. That's it. Big t-shirt. But, like, I'm not fighting moblins.
You gotta give him some pants.
Yeah.
Okay, so he wakes up in the room, which this room also contains the Triforce on a pedestal for...
Just chilling.
It's just there. They
you
didn't
should
put
lock
it in
that
a vault.
shit up.
Yeah, they did nothing. It's just, well, Link's got this one. So he wakes up.
I'm gonna trust it to local dumbass.
He immediately begins complaining that he lives in a nice castle and that he doesn't.
Yeah, he sleeps in a bed.
Yeah, he is mad that he does not sleep in mud. And then he looks in the mirror and says, "Aren't I sweet?" Which, like, don't know what that was.
I don't know either.
Did not appreciate that. As he tries to think of why he even bothers living there, or I guess going on entirely. He looks out the window. He sees Zelda, and he's like, "Oh, her." He whistles at her, and then
harasses her.
Yeah, and then he says that she's looking good, especially from this angle, which he's like up above her. And she's in her, like, nightgown.
Yeah, so he's a pervert. He's a disgusting pervert.
Yeah.
Like...
Episode 1, he's fully catcalling Zelda. Like...
Right, it's just... He, like, whistles at her. Like, he might as well...
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't know, Brayden, how often you've been whistled at. It's the worst fucking feeling. Right, it sucks. It's terrible. And so, like, the second he did that, I was like, oh, you are motherfucker. Like, I hate you.
So, yeah, she doesn't appreciate this. Sprite,
reasonably,
which is a, like, small fairy character, flies in and, like, gives her a robe to put on.
And then she's smug. She, like, victim blames Zelda.
Yeah, she's like,
I told you should have put a robe on.
Yeah, it's not good. None of the writing is good. We can say that for sure. We pan back to Link, who is now being confronted by moblins that have snuck into his room.
Yes.
Which...
Dick still out.
Yeah, Dick full out. I guess, again, they didn't have much to go off. Maybe this is what the official artwork looked like. They do have, like, just straight-up bulldog faces.
I don't know, I kind of like them.
Yeah, I mean, they're not bad designs. It was like, oh. So he starts fighting them. He grabs his sword and a pillow for a shield, then hits a moblin with a pillow instead of the sword. Which was weird. They fight for a while. Eventually, he blasts them all with a beam from his sword, and they get banished away.
Back to the hole that they came from.
Right.
Like, back in that trap door.
Yeah.
Right?
So then there's...
Maybe not, I don't know.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. There's a knock at the door. It's Zelda. He leans out to try to kiss her and gets slapped. Like, as he
Understandably
should.
so.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where he utters the first of the series, excuse me, princess, because she's mad at him.
I was thinking that it might be fun to keep account of excuse me, princesses.
Okay, yeah, I will say I do know there are 2 in this episode.
There has to be more than 2.
Outside of the, like, opening sequence.
I don't know. I don't feel like that's enough. I believe you, I guess, except I don't.
It does feel like there should be more.
It does. Also, when he's fighting the moblin, his sword is so weird and short.
Yeah, there's also, like, it sort of, like, changes length a little bit. Like, as the animation isn't that consistent.
Yeah. Well. What are you expecting?
Oh, I did forget this. So one of them drops a bow.
A bow.
That is made from bone, which Link then refers to
a
as
moblin bow.
He calls it a magic bow. First of all. He calls it a magic bow. Which I guess he just knows, and we are also supposed to go along with. And then he puts that into, like a belt pouch, and it, like, glows and shrinks down.
Yep.
And there's, like, a video game, like, from the actual game, little, like, blip as he puts it away.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's like the actual noise.
Yeah. So that kind of establishes...
That's, like, a nice touch.
I mean, again, like, in context, none of the other games, like, Breath of the Wild probably has the most realistic, like, inventory-changing thing, but he just kind of, like...
Yeah, and I hate it.
But he just kind of, like... stows it and it's gone. In this one, no, they establish, like,
it's magic.
He has, like, a magic pouch.
Right.
So yeah, Zelda's there. She berates him for having a messy room, and then he's like, "Oh, well, actually, I got attacked by moblins." He exaggerates how many. He says there was like 15. I think there was 3.
There were like 4. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 4. And complains that he should have, gotten a reward instead of getting smacked, which, like, presumably this is his job. Like, I don't know.
Right.
You don't do your job. Like, no, you shouldn't get smacked for doing your job, but, like...
No, if your boss cannot smack you.
Right.
Like, I would be actually pretty fucking pissed if I walked into work and my supervisor...
But if you tried to kiss your boss and your boss smacked you, like, that's a reasonable response.
I mean, did she go to HR first?
But you also just don't, like, expect a reward every time you...
No, every time I do my job.
So she clears everything up and then says that he has to stay and protect the Triforce because she has to judge the Magician's Contest.
Amateur.
Yeah,
magician.
the amateur, you cannot enter this contest. This is like how the Olympics used to be, and you actually, if you're a pro at all, if you ever made money off of your magicianing, you cannot enter. Link is mad that he has to spend the day inside and starts to, like, just yell? He just begins to yell by himself.
We've all been there.
I mean, we have. There's times you gotta just sit in your car and just yell as loud as humanly possible.
When I worked at Publix, I used to lock myself in the bathroom and get a bunch of paper towels and scream into them. I'm not joking. I did that every day.
See,
multiple times.
I would just go into the bathroom and then stare into the mirror into my own eyes for like 10 minutes, and then
how
walk
badly
back
do
out.
I need $9 an hour?
Okay, so they use this yell to fade into Ganon also yelling.
Yeah.
So we get our first look of him in this series, and this is where the context thing starts to slip a little bit, because the first game has pixel-like rendition, but also artwork and all of that of what Ganon looks like. And, like, later on, he's, like, a guy. Like, when he's Ganondorf, like, in the later games, he's a dude.
Actually, this is where my sexy Ganondorf name came from.
This version of
Because I
Ganon?
just want to bone down.
Yeah, so in this one, he's a pig wizard.
Yep.
So in the first game, he's, like, a big, beefy, like, pig dude. But this time, he's just kind of, like, a man with a pig face.
Yeah.
He,
An unfortunate abomination.
An affront to God is what he is in this. He's standing in, like, a cave, and there is what I can only describe as a giant bong in front of him. There's some massive smoke-filled apparatus, and the moblins that Link zapped are, like, floating around in it. Ganon yells at him for, like...
they are. They're floating.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, I actually just noticed where I wrote again, Dick is dangerously close to flopping out, and I underlined dangerously. And I just wanted to let you know that.
It's an important note. So he yells at the moblins for doing a shitty job, and then, like...
That's fair.
Lightning blasts them, and they... die forever, I guess? I don't know. I was trying to figure out if this smoke is a, like, primordial, like, he can just shape it
soup.
into whatever.
Uh-huh.
It's soup. Yes, it's the soup.
Speaking of Ganon, whatever, whichever one. Speaking of Ganondorf, blasting the moblins with his, what I'm just gonna call force lightning. Let me present to you now the theory.
Okay.
That Ganondorf comes back in episode 9 as Emperor Palpatine.
Now, see, I've not been...
And now it's just all coming together.
I've not been a fan of Palpatine resurfacing, but now I am.
But now I'm intrigued.
I'm on board.
I have to admit.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest joke I've ever made.
No, I think it works.
Thank
Make
you.
sure we keep that one in.
I need your reassurance. I'm just so close to jumping off a bridge at any given fucking moment.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so I think he just kills them. He really does.
Yeah, I
kills
think so. He also, like, is furiously teleporting around the room.
Yeah.
Which is strange, but, like...
He floats too.
Yeah, he floats for a while. He has, like, sort of undefined, just magical powers.
Yeah.
So Ganon kind of decides to go get the Triforce himself. He somehow knows about the amateur magicians contest.
Well,
I guess,
it was posted.
Yeah, they put up
on the
flyers,
internet.
like, by his cave, I guess.
Yeah. And then also I want to point out that he decides that he wants to do it. He like says like, I'm going to join the amateur magician contest. And the Triforce talks to him.
Yeah.
And it goes, you're not an amateur, you're a pro. Like, how supportive and uplifting.
Well, like, so yeah, like that scene is weird because one, the Triforce is talking and it's just sort of a nondescript man's voice. Like, there's two,
it's like, it's very supportive of him.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, like, don't put yourself, you're good at this.
Yeah, you're doing really great. I'm here. Look, why am I not enough for you?
I was actually talking to some guys and like, we were just saying, like, well, you're really good at this stuff, man. How good you are at this
shit. Yeah.
So he just says he'll pretend to be an amateur.
Because he's a pro.
Right. He summons...
This is not a pro-am.
Right. He summons I forget the name for this thing, is a palanquin, whatever.
I think so. I bet Tim would know because it was in Avatar.
Right. One of those litters that people carry you while you're like seated like royalty.
For like rich people. Yeah, Jeff Bezos has one.
But it's 4 drones, like, flying it around. So he summons 4 skeletons, Stalfos.
Yeah, Stalfos.
Because as much as later Zelda things kind of iterate on, like, a skeleton enough to make it, like, its own thing, these are straight up just, like, spooky, scary skeleton, like, skeletons.
Yeah.
So he summons 4 Stalfos, he puts robes on them, and he says that his teleportation doesn't work as well outside of his like lair. Yeah.
Yes.
So he has to have them carry him.
Sounds pretty fucking amateur if you ask me, by the way.
Also, like, what is it? The light is it as he gets further from his what limits that power?
They're never going to explain it. Don't worry about it. It just
I need answers. And I'm just never gonna get them, and I'm gonna have to live with that for the rest of my life. You're
gonna be like on your deathbed, like shaking your poor wife. Like, why?
Yeah,
Why can't Ganon teleport above ground?
I'm gonna grab whoever is nearby me by the shirt collar and just be like, "How did his powers work?" And then I'll die.
And then you'll fucking die. And you'll deserve to, because...
Will they... Okay, but, like,
This show is terrible.
Will they explain it to me in the afterlife, is my question.
No, you don't get to know because you keep making jokes about Jesus smoking weed.
I'm just saying, Jesus seems like a cool dude. I think he would smoke weed.
I'm gonna get to know how Ganon's powers work because I'm not a part of this.
Be kind to your neighbor, give him some of that kind bud, is all I'm saying.
Oh my god. I got a good neighbor award today at work. Did you know that?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know either, but I got one. And I was like looking at it and I was like, I don't deserve this. Like, you're a fool. I'm so mean all the time.
Okay,
so they on my cubicle wall.
They teleport. What?
Nothing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay.
I was literally not saying anything.
So they teleport up to this cave, and then start carrying Ganon towards Hyrule Castle.
Yeah.
We cut to the the magicians contest. Which
is going terribly.
It's just, like, so... I've never seen a contest where people just line up and then, like, go. Like, one by... Just do it. Just do your thing and then go. Are they waiting around afterwards for an announcement, or is she just saying, like, on the fly, like, 7th?
You suck. No. I also really like that the levels of tricks that are being performed, like the fucking Princess of Hyrule is there. So you would think that this would be like Great British Bake Off level. Yeah, but so are the people on Bake Off.
Okay, yeah, true.
So, like, you would think that, or like MasterChef, you would think that these would be like excellent amateurs, like very dedicated hobbyists. This is like that video making fun of David Blaine's Street Magic where he keeps harassing homosexuals with Cheez-Its. Like,
yeah, a wizard gets up and he turns Zelda's drink into Cheez-Its.
It's Cheez-Its.
It's the most, like, professorial part of this show. They really just... Wait, that means like a professor. I meant prophetic.
It does.
I meant prophetic. Nice.
We're doing great.
Nice words. So a wizard is up, or I guess magician, whatever.
Amateur magician.
I hear magician, I think smoke and mirrors, do some card tricks, not like magic.
But these
user.
were wizards.
Yeah, these are wizards. Like,
do you think that they, while we're just talking about the heavy religious imagery of the Legend of Zelda cartoon, do you think that they maybe then strayed away from the word wizard so that, like, to avoid the Harry Potter problem? Like, you shall not suffer a witch to live, right? So,
I mean, it's
you can't use the word wizard because fucking dads in Alabama were gonna start like karate chopping their TVs.
Okay, but the first guy up is like Merlin. Like, you look at him and that's what Merlin looks like in every drawing of Merlin.
Oh, you were there?
No, like every drawing of Merlin, that's what he's got, like the blue
starry
robes
hat.
and the blue starry hat and the big white like he's Merlin. That's Merlin. Anyways, Merlin steps up and he says, "This is a spell I use in my garden all the time." He's got a little like potted plant and he uses it and a tomato starts to grow and everyone's impressed. And then it gets too big and it pops like tomatoes do?
I don't know. I've never popped a tomato.
Yeah. And gets tomato on everyone, and he's, like, bummed out. But then Ganon
While
appears...
we're talking about weed, can you imagine?
Watching this while high?
No, I was going to say what good that spell would do.
Well, sure, until it pops, I guess? Would the weed pop?
A tomato, I think it makes sense for it to pop.
Right, it's got like a skin and juices.
I think weed would just kind of shatter.
No, I can get you shatter.
What is that? Is that meth, Brayden?
No, it's like dabs.
Okay, well, I mean, we're putting this up, right? And so my mom could, in theory, listen to it. So I've never smoked weed, if anybody is.
I also cannot get you shatter, and I don't know what it is. By dab, I meant the dance.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I learned all this from watching Breaking Bad.
Yes, exactly. Ganon shows up, and he says he wants to enter the contest, and to prove that he is a magician, he summons a bird, which, like, okay, like that's
a bit higher level than kind of what everybody else is working with.
He can be there. If a guy can fuck up a tomato, then like bird summoning should fly.
Right.
Zelda kind of says, "Okay, well, like wait your fucking turn, get in line."
Yeah, she puts him in his place a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. He I guess just says okay. Ganon's fine with that. He turns the bird into a bat, and then tells it to go spy on the tower where the Triforce is, which, like, was the bat transformation necessary? Or was it an aesthetic choice?
Maybe only evil things listen to him.
But he can create good ones?
I mean, the morality of birds is not what we're here to discuss.
Birds are at best chaotic neutral.
Right. Well, and then why not a crow?
Yeah, or like...
Because I would notice a bat in broad daylight. I've never seen a bat. I don't think ever in my fucking life. So, like, if I saw one just in the middle of the day, I think I'd have a fucking heart attack. Like, I would notice.
Especially, like, in a world where magic is real and evil, like, exists in a very, like, concrete way. You would think every time you saw a bat, you'd be like,
high
oh,
alert
fuck.
for bats. Yeah. Especially, like, the bats, like, they're attacking you and stuff. It's not a bat, Brayden. It's a keys.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're dumb shits. Oh, no.
All right, so, use find and replace technology. Find every instance of the word bat.
This is a note for Tim.
Yes. Tim will get this. Tim can do that, right?
I don't think so.
Anyways, so keys. It's a keys. I will remember that it's a keys. I will try to remember.
Is it one keys a coos?
I gotta say I have no clue. I mean, is a tomato in the Zelda? Is this some sort of Zelda-centric fruit?
Well, is it like a metamato? Like, are we going full Nintendo Cinematic Universe?
I mean, it doesn't have like
it didn't have an M,
right? So I would assume not.
Anyways,
but, okay, yeah. So before the next scene, a second magician walks up to Zelda and says that
that's right.
That his spell is that he can remove the stinkiness from his dirty socks, which like
holy shit.
I mean, like, it's a power, like it's just not a good one. Also, he has maybe the worst voice actor
I don't recall
I've ever heard.
I don't recall.
It was like high pitched and sounded like he was underwater is the only way I can describe it. It was like so warbly and weird. I did not enjoy it. If the voice actor for this character ever listens to this, I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
No,
I'm not sorry.
I know
Eat
it probably
shit.
wasn't your best work. You got a bunch of other characters in the reel. They probably made you run through a bunch like real quick.
It's like it's Alan Tudyk or something, like somebody who's very well respected.
Yeah, that was who's the Last of Us guy?
I've never played The Last of Us.
Troy Baker. I hope I got that right. I know Troy Baker's a very famous voice actor, so I'm gonna go with Troy Baker. He's doing all he can
Matt Mercer.
Matt Mercer. He's doing all he can to like karmically set off what he put into the world in like this.
That 3 seconds.
Yeah. So then we cut to Link is up in the tower defending the Triforce, talking to Sprite.
And Sprite's like hitting on him.
Yeah.
She's like trying to fuck. She really is. She's like, why are you paying attention to Zelda? Pay attention to me. His dick would destroy you. Bitch,
he does
calm
say,
down.
And I will say this is at least a little in his credit. You're only 3 inches tall.
It reminds me, like, I wonder if they were trying to go for maybe like a Tinkerbell and Peter Pan.
Yeah,
deal?
I think that's...
Because, like, remember in Peter Pan when Tinkerbell gets, like, jealous of Wendy?
Yeah.
And, like, Tinkerbell is, like... I mean, I always thought she was kind of hot. Tim cut that part. But, like, Tinkerbell is, like, an overtly kind of sexual character.
Yeah, there's a weird dynamic they're setting up that I don't think needs to be.
And then also, like, if you think about it in the context of, like, Zelda fairies that you interact with, like...
Yeah, it does make it a bit weird.
Makes Ocarina of Time pretty odd.
Well, especially...
Like, is Navi just back there like, why are you fighting Zelda? Like...
Especially in the later games, they're just like orbs. Which, like, maybe that's supposed to be, like, too much light and you can't see, like, the actual fairy, but they just look like orbs.
I don't know, we're just gonna have to ask fucking, what's his name, Brayden?
The guy
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yep. Yeah, he'll let us know for sure.
Answer for your crimes. The fairy wants to get just destroyed. Listen, it's an emotion we've all felt. I have been there.
I'm not sure that your experiences so closely line up to mine as you seem to think. So yeah,
I'm just saying there have been people that I have looked at where I'm like, okay, kill me. Just kill me.
Yeah, she is willing to die for that dick.
And that's admirable.
I think it is. So Akis...
We all have goals.
Yeah. Akis sees the Triforce, flies back down, cut back to the competition. A magician summons a lizard, which I gotta say, for me, higher on the scale than summoning a bird.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think I would rather be able to, like, just, get a little lizard friend.
Just a little friend. And then if
friend.
you'll remember, Zelda was also, she was more impressed with the lizard than she was with the bird.
Yeah, the bird she was like, okay, asshole. Get in line. Lizard,
yeah,
she's like,
lizard, she's like,
lizard.
Oh, cute. Yeah.
I mean...
She was petting it.
In universe, is this still... Okay, Breath of the Wild establishes there are, like, lizards. Okay. I was about to be like, is this just, like, a small Dodongo? I don't know what... No.
What the fuck is a Dodongo?
They're the, like, lizards that, like, walk around and they, like, breathe fire and you put a bomb in their mouth.
Isn't that a Lizalfos?
No. Those are the ones that, like, jump around and, like, swing swords at you.
Okay, well, if it wasn't in... Again, if it wasn't in Skyward Sword, I have had minimal interaction with it.
Yeah, I guess they aren't in that one.
No.
Anyways,
they aren't.
It's a lizard.
It's a lizard, okay. So there are just regular lizards.
There are some that are just lizards.
Lizards, yeah.
Just lizards sometimes. The keys...
Hightail lizard?
Yeah, in Breath of the Wild, there's definitely, like, lizards.
Just naming lizards now.
The Keese informs Ganon that the Triforce is up in the tower, that Link is guarding it, and he says, okay, well, let's get him out here, and uses his magic to turn the lizard into a dragon. Which I gotta say, like, I know he didn't want to reveal, his intentions, but way more impressive.
Pretty over the top.
Yeah, also, is there a limit? Because, like, if he could just get a bunch of lizards and turn them all into dragons, like, I think he would just win. Like, at that point...
Potentially.
I would have to
Well,
assume.
and then also, while we were speaking about Zelda lore, in the Zelda games, the dragons are, like, very revered creatures.
Yeah, they're not just, like...
Right?
Fantasy storybook ones.
They're not just random assholes. Yeah. Even, like, again, only Zelda game I've ever beaten, Skyward Sword. And Skyward Sword, they're intelligent beings.
Yeah.
Like, you talk to them and they sing little songs for you.
There is a boss in the first Zelda that's just, like, a dragon thing. And it doesn't, like, talk or anything. So, I mean, like, again, from this perspective, I guess it makes a little bit of sense. So Link hears the commotion. He jumps out of the window.
He goes down there.
He grabs a rope and swings in. He pulls his shield out, which, again, makes the, like, bleep as he grabs it. But he's pinned down under the dragon's fire. Zelda throws, like, a platter, like a reflective metal platter in the air, and he... bounces some beams off it, hits the dragon. Dragon turns back into a lizard. So now, enumerated list of, like, powers of this sword is sending a moblin back to Ganon and turning dragon into lizard.
I mean, doesn't, like, the magic of his sword...
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the, like... reasoning, it banishes whatever Ganon's magic is that's affecting it, whatever. But I like to imagine this could happen to any dragon.
Okay.
You're a dragon out there.
Even the big...
Yeah, any of them.
The ones who sing you songs.
Link could just snap. You're a lizard now.
You know what? That would have made my Skyward Sword experience very different. Because you remember the one dragon who gives you the, it's the Hylian shield, right?
Oh, yeah, with the, like, boss rush thing. Yeah, that
in hero
sucks.
mode, that's just fucking impossible.
Yeah.
So, like, I would love to turn that man into a lizard. You fucker. Give me my pouch items, bitch. So hard. I'm so mad about it. I was never able to get it in hero mode. And then also, like, it's pretty cool that you see Zelda being, like, capable in this. Like, she's wearing pants, which, like, that's dope. I, too, wear pants as a woman.
But yeah, no, then, she's there the whole time,
she's
like,
problem
fighting.
solving. Yeah. It's pretty dope. It's really cool.
They
but
do
she's also
undercut
a fucking bitch.
Yeah, they do undercut a little bit of their, like, goodwill towards women with, you know, the rest of the show.
Right. With the constant sexual harassment. And then Zelda being, I'm not kidding, just, like, the most frigid bitch you've ever met. She's so mean.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. Speaking of which, after the dragon gets turned back into a lizard, she complains that Link is down there. Yeah, like, oh, you should be back up in the tower where you are protecting the thing. Here's where we get the second, excuse me, princess, of this episode.
Yep.
While they are bickering, Ganon, gets the Triforce. He flicks Sprite into the wall, which, like, knocks her out, which is pretty wild.
Forgot that was the fairy's name, and I was like, what?
Yeah, she gets her ass kicked. Then the Triforce of Wisdom speaks, and it speaks in a rhyme. I don't remember the exact rhyme, but it was something to do with, like, if you're a villain, like, you'll get your comeuppance. Like, this only leads to bad stuff. But the first one didn't. The first one didn't speak in rhymes.
No, he's chill. It's because he is not the Triforce of Wisdom. Obviously, the Triforce of Wisdom has to be like a Sphinx.
Rhyming does not mean wisdom.
Can you rhyme on the fly like that? No, you fucking can't. Because it's smarter than you.
Oh my god, this stupid triangle smarter than me.
I hope you're... Yeah, so the Triforce of Wisdom, it also talks, it's a lady's voice.
Yeah, that's true. This one is a woman, and I think it has a little more of that quality of, like, ethereal, like, magic voice. The other one was, like, just a guy.
Just a man. It was really like, no, you're not an amateur, bro.
Yeah. So Ganon bails out the window, lands on his, like, litter-carrying thing, which does knock all the Stalfos to the ground, which is just sort of a dick move.
Oh, and he calls them boneheads.
Yep, that's...
Which, like, is that a slur?
Why did I have to witness a Stalfos experience a microaggression?
If it's a slur, that's a fucking macroaggression.
Yeah, I guess that's true. He didn't say like a weird stereotype about them. He straight up called them like.
Anyways,
so Ganon then tells him to run. The rest of them, Zelda, Link, and Merlin guy is there for some reason. Just sort of watch him leave.
Yeah.
And they're like,
there's
we'll
no, like,
never
hey,
catch
stop.
him. They're on foot. Not only are they on foot, but they're carrying a man. Like, you can't...
A big fat fatty.
Like, you can't catch that? I don't... Like, they're not
also,
that far away.
They're bones. They're bones. And so, like, that's something, too, is, like, just while we're commenting on the realism of all of this, how lift, win, bone... Like, where...
I mean, I assume there's some magic animus that's, you know, getting them to move and stuff. Like,
sure, move, but, like, lifting Ganon, who's a pig? Like, do you know how big pigs get, Brayden? Like, 700 or 800 pounds, really, some of the big ones. And so...
They're big boys.
So Ganon, it stands to reason, is, like, at least 300, not 3 pounds.
That's thick.
So he's a thick boy, and so
thick bit. So
thicker than a Snicker.
So they're like, how do we catch him? Zelda throws a seed in the ground and then tells Merlin guy to use his growing spell on it. She like ties a lasso to the tree that starts growing out of it and bends it backwards, like as it goes, and like she's indicating they're going to catapult themselves off it. Now, here's something that I made sure to keep track of. It's in this scene where Link utters a line. I think he says something about like, "That's how I like my women."
Yeah, my kind of woman is what he says.
Yeah, my kind of woman. But he says it without moving his mouth. There is no...
Oh, you don't do that?
There is no animation of his mouth moving. They, like, added it in later and then just never fixed the animation.
It's telepathic. He's beaming it directly into your brain.
Okay, but then afterwards he says, crazy. Like, he, like, says words out loud and his mouth moves. Like, right after.
Yeah, because he's done. That little bit was just for you. Just for you.
Yep. Jonathan?
No, I just say a lot. It's okay.
Oh, okay. They climb on and then get launched into the air after they, like,
they do
cut
go
the rope.
wee. Like, you hear them both like, woo!
Yeah, and Zelda, like, you hear her say, how are we gonna get down? Which I gotta say, getting down is not really the problem. You're gonna go down.
I remember I was watching it, and she's like, how are we gonna get down? And I was like, are you gonna shatter your fucking femurs? Like, I was expecting the next, like, frame to be them with, like, horrible, like, bone protruding fractures. Like, what are those compound fractures? Like, just terrible goriness.
We get a shot of, like, the forest floor, and, like, there's a bunch of, like, grunts, and then they land, so I don't know if they, like, that was them, like, going through the tree line.
I think it was.
But they land, which, like, again, they were worried about, like, how are we gonna get down, and then they just land. Like, they're just on the ground.
And they're fine.
Yeah, they're just fine.
They don't even go, ow.
She, like, lightly lands on Link, and he's like, oh, saved you again, and it's like, not really.
Yeah, and then he tries to get another kiss.
Right. This man is, too horny.
Link is criminally horny on main. Like, can you imagine? I don't know if you have any coworkers like this. I have one. But just showing up to work every day and being like, fuck, I'm trying to fuck. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
please
like,
calm down.
Come on. And also, like, she's his coworker, sort of, but also just, like, his friend. Like, it's just especially weird.
Yeah. And then, I mean, not even coworker. She's his fucking boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also she's like a figure, like a state figure.
Yeah, she's
like, this
royalty.
is the equivalent of me just, like, showing up to the White House and being like, Melania, please sleep with me. Like,
I think you will find there's a sizable portion of Twitter who would do that.
She's not an ugly woman. She's not like a bad-looking woman. She has an ugly soul.
Yeah.
Anyways, Melania Trump's fuckability aside, it's just weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. So Link turns around and he's like, all right, I'm going to slow him down. He blasts one of the Stalfos with his sword beam, and they all collapse. Ganon goes flying.
He calls them another, like, bone-related pun, I believe.
Yeah, probably. He tells the skeleton to get him, and Link's like, just 3? So Ganon summons this, like, cave entrance thing. Some more Stalfos come out. Then,
How is summoning Stalfos somehow less difficult than teleporting?
Yeah, I don't really know. By
Harry Potter logic, teleporting is supposed to be easier than making dead people.
He refers to it as, like, there's like a hidden entrance nearby, so I guess he's more like activating the, like, secret door and they're just coming through.
Yeah, you do see the entrance to his cave, and it's like 50 feet away from the entrance to the castle.
Yeah, it's not very far. So anyways, Stalfos come out, and then Link does something inexplicable. So, like, fighting back-to-back is, like, a thing you see, but he takes it a step further and, like, binds them
her
together.
To him.
Yeah, with his belt. And, like, they do some stuff with it. He, like, leans forward, and she, like over, kicks. Like, upside down. Like, yeah, she'll, like, kick, or she's, like, upside down, like, firing a bow. Like, they do stuff with it, but it's unnecessary. Like, you could just walk around and shoot a bow. Like, it's not...
Maybe Link just doesn't have, like, the arm strength to do it without the belt helping.
Maybe he has, like, a, like, glowing weak point on his back and just wants to make sure... like, wants to make sure it's covered. Heel. Yeah. So Zelda gets the, like, magic bow, and it's shooting, like, beams of energy rather than arrows, so I guess that's why it's magic.
Yeah. According to the wiki, that is in every episode.
Huh.
Like, they're all like that.
I mean, yeah.
They do not have arrow projectiles. I bet because it's easier to animate just beams.
Probably. They, like, kick their ass for a little bit, and then Ganon does something that I really liked, which is one of the Stalfos that, like, gets knocked over by him. He's like, hit him like this, and then just, like,
shadow boxes.
Yeah, he shadow boxes and, like, evil laughs for a little too long. It's multiple seconds of just him, like, and just punching the air. Like,
that stuck with me so much that I wrote down shadowboxing Ganon, question mark.
He does some weird shit. They keep fighting. Ganon throws a bomb, and then, like, Zelda, like, I guess, like, flip kicks them up so the bomb hits the 3 Stalfos, rather than them, which just sort of, like, neatly, like, pews them away. Like, they just kind of, like, disappear. There's no explosion. They just kind of turn into dust, which is interesting in context later. Zelda shoots Ganon with one of her, like, arrow things, which, like, he's fine. He gets, like, on fire a little bit, and then he just kind of, like, brushes it off. So, like...
Don't you hate it when you get on fire a little bit?
I mean, like, it was just a little bit, you know?
That's so true.
He wasn't on fire a lot.
Yeah.
A Stalfos throws another bomb, and then Zelda says a word... She says she's out of what I think was Zumbolts. I don't know. I didn't notice that. I assume it's like whatever beams it shoots, but like they used this word. I mean, I guess that's how you establish things. Like it makes sense, but like knowing Zelda stuff, I was like, that's not something I am familiar with. I tried Googling it, a couple different spellings. I didn't find anything. Maybe I misheard. Maybe this is a thing I'm not familiar with.
Be sure to tweet at us. Just tweet all of your vitriol. Just let us know what dumb big idiots you think we are. Please. It's my kink.
It's not my kink. It makes me sad. So.
Oh, it's so my kink. Be sure you tweet at Brayden directly. What's your Twitter now?
I mean, I was going to plug it at the end, but I kind of don't want to.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so she says she's out of Zumbolts. Link, like, kind of, like, taps, like, he hits the bomb with his sword just a little bit and goes up in the air, and then he shoots a beam at the last Stalfos. Ganon, like, runs into the cave with the Triforce, and they're like, oh, he's getting away, and then the bomb comes back down, and he, like, baseball bats the bomb into the cave, which now, like, massively explodes. Which, like, previously, little tiny, like, sparkles, like, that skeleton or Stalfos are gone. Now it's, like, now it's a grenade. Like, now it's doing something. Blasts, I guess, him apart. Well, no, he shows up later. Triforce comes back out, and they celebrate, and then Zelda's like, okay, unbuckle us. At which point he says no.
Yeah, more sexual harassment.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I would be terrified, honestly, if I were like, okay, let me go, and a man was just like, no.
Yeah, a man with a sword.
A man with a sword. And he was like, no, not unless you give me a kiss. I'd be like,
yeah. So that's
I
the thing.
would start crying.
He demands a kiss. She says no, then eventually gives in, but like she's like, but don't make this a habit. And he's like, oh no, of course not. And then it pans down and he's got his fingers crossed.
Again, this is literally like, there's just zero respect for Zelda's wishes or consent. Like,
yeah,
he's literally, that's illegal. You can't.
It's not good.
It's so bad, actually.
She agrees, they go to kiss, and then Sprite shows up and interrupts them. And she's like, oh, like, looks like you're all caught up here. I got it. And then just, like, magics the belt away, and they fall. And Link's like, aw, man. And Zelda just kind of, like, gives a little wry chuckle, and it's played off. But, like, it was pretty horrible what just happened.
Yeah, no, it was terrible.
And then we cut to Ganon, who is now trapped inside his bong.
Floating around some more.
Yeah, he's floating. I again, so I originally sort of thought this was an apparatus for him to do magic out of and summon stuff, but like, why can he
Maybe
go
it
in
really is just for smoking weed.
Like, how did he get in it?
I mean, haven't you ever been to a party and somebody has a bong and it's like 4 feet tall? And that's an event, that bong, you know? And so, like, maybe it's just the same thing.
Well, he also, he says, like, once I get out of here. So he is, like, trapped in there. Like, that's
maybe
his own
his, like...
Also, he can teleport. He's back in the place. He can just teleport.
Well, maybe that's his, like a healing... Maybe he's in some goop.
Oh, it's like it's like in DBZ. It's like the pods they go into.
I haven't seen Dragon Ball Z.
Oh my god.
What, did you nut? Because I haven't...
It was meant to be a, like, moving on kind of grunt.
It didn't work.
No, whatever.
Don't point it
out. So it's just like a pod they can, like, recover from injury in. And that's the end of the first episode. On my watch, I saw the YouTube version.
I watched the YouTube version also.
Yeah, so then I was treated to do the Mario. So it's just like a nice aperitif, you know, to just kind of...
Can you stop with the fucking SAT words? Aperitif, comeuppance. It's like you were like flipping, like you had missed a bunch of days on a word of the day calendar. Like maybe you forgot on like Halloween, and so you had like 8 or 9 to flip through. And you were just like, oh.
My roommates make fun of me for this as well. But
yeah,
I will
it's
say,
stupid.
some of it's not fair. Okay.
Aperitif is very well deserved, you big fucking nerd.
I will give you that, but it was mostly that I was trying to think of a palate cleanser was the phrase I was trying to come up with and couldn't.
It's like a nice little piece of ginger after your sushi.
Yeah. So that is the conclusion of this. We're only going to do this one episode this time. I think we'll try to
save
do
ourselves.
Yeah, I think we'll try to do 2 next time, since we won't have the background and introduction and all of that. But
we'll also try and stay on topic more.
Right. Yeah, I think that'll probably help. So yeah, that's all we got today. We are currently in the process of setting up
a bunch of shit.
Bunch of stuff. Our Gmail, our Twitter, stuff like that. Tentatively, they are... Give me one sec.
It's just video games, right?
Video Games Pod. I did include the S on the email on accident. So video games...
We were not yet decided.
It was in process. videogamespod@gmail.com, and then the...
that's where you email Braden your hate.
That's where you can...
Because I don't have the password, so...
Shame me.
As he deserves.
And then, okay, hold on, the Twitter's still displaying the wrong @
Is it? What does it say?
I'm trying to change it to Video Game Pod. Hold on. It's showing like... Okay, now it is. Okay. So yeah, the Twitter is Video Game Pod.
This makes for excellent radio.
We'll hopefully have some stuff on it by the time this goes up.
if you want to see us build something from the ground up.
So in the meantime, I don't know if you want to plug yours, but you can follow me at BC Jetty.
Oh.
Jette.
And that's
right
where you send the hate. And then, and my Twitter is at, is it evil or mean? Let me look. My Twitter is at, is it evil or mean? Is at Mean Crow Lady. It was, like, more related to, like, my name and stuff, but, I go to court for work.
And I don't, so I can afford to make dick jokes on the internet.
I cannot. I cannot afford to make dick jokes on the internet.
So yeah, you can follow us there. Hopefully by the time this goes up, the artwork for this will have been done by a good friend of mine, Jordan. You can find her stuff at Lemon Limeade Art on Instagram. She also has an Etsy.
Oh, that's a good name.
She also has an Etsy on there. She does illustration, but she also does like crocheting and plushes and stuff like that. So check her out.
She's a nice lady. Please give her your money. Because we didn't.
We appreciate her a lot. So yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. And now it's time for that classic sign-off that I do have prepared. That
shit! Okay.
I thought of beforehand for sure.
This is the first time I'm seeing this. This definitely thought out thing.
No.
Ooh, someone took that one, bud. Keegan, kiss your nope.
Who boy. Oh, well, we'll definitely have a sign-off next time.
Oh, I have a sign-off.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No, that is hard. Okay. My sign-off is... Oh. Yeah, we'll have one next time, for sure.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. And again, we will definitely have a sign-off next time.